everybody to Dustin's Vinyl. Dustin will be joining us shortly. I am Jeffrey Paul. I am joined by Adam Holtz and Anthony Clapton Kapfer.
That's me. Hey, what's up, guys?
You played that with a little extra stank on it today.
You noticed the extra stank, huh?
I did, man. You had a little bit of like the shoulder in there, and it came across as like bam, 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 bam. Yep, yeah, that sounded good.
You know, I'm in LA now, so I have. It's a whole attitude.
Man, yeah, you've stepped up your game, and you know, man, it sounded good. How are you feeling, Adam?
Trying to feel better. I got COVID right now, so a few days into it, and hopefully the worst of it's already over.
Yeah. Hope so. Your mic is a little low.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get this.
There we go. Now we can hear.
Must be the COVID.
Stuff.
Right.
Well,
has that effect?
Anytime like something goes wrong, or you need an excuse, you can either say COVID or 9/11.
Right.
I got a new built-in excuse. I just go, hey, got hit by a car, memory.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I got 3 I can pull from. So busy week for everybody. We haven't done this live for a couple of weeks. And let's start with Anthony, man. I heard you got like some big time scores. Is that true?
Big time. Oh, record scores.
Yeah. Let's talk. Listen, it's Dustin's Vinyl. So let's talk a little bit of records and music.
Let's talk records,
and what do you got? What's going on?
So I got I think the day after I got we moved here to LA. A friend of mine, a friend that I know from New York who's been living in LA for the last couple of years, is now moving. And had like a kind of going away party, and
you moved to LA, and as soon as you moved to LA, he moved out.
Yeah. So
that's going to be
my
a trend.
Friend, maybe Killy Dwyer. Do you know Killy? She's
I
a musical comedian. She's great. Her stuff is really great. And I've known her for
one musical comedian,
and it's me.
That is you.
Wow.
I only have room for one in my life.
It could be
it's
only
Anthony
one.
Kapfer. That is it.
So I went over to her place, and she was giving away like tons of stuff. She gave me a guitar. She's like, just take all my shit. They're moving back to the East Coast. And she gave me 2 big boxes of records. And she's like, don't even look through them. Just take them and look through them later. And so I pulled out a couple that I'll show you guys now.
Yeah.
I'm still going through them. I don't even know really the extent of what's in there. But these are a couple that initially I knew that I liked. I actually used to have this. I have it somewhere in New York, probably at my mom's place. But now I have it again. Steve Martin.
It looks like it's in good condition.
It's in really good condition. I think the record is actually in my
you got the
player.
poster too?
Yeah. So I think I didn't have this.
Wow.
When I bought
that's worth something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because a lot of times when you get the reissues, it doesn't come with that. And then a lot of the ones that you find, you won't find the supplement that comes with it.
People lose it. I think this was probably just in a white sleeve when I bought it in New York. So, it's got the big, the centerfold, and it's got I love that it's him with his cat or somebody's cat.
And I think we actually covered this album on Dustin's Vinyl.
Wild and Crazy Guy. It's a good one. This one and Let's Get Small, right?
Yeah.
Is that I had those 2 on vinyl. But yeah, so this was one of the ones that I got in the box, which I was psyched about.
Wow, already it's a good score.
Another one, this one, I don't know too many of these particular songs, but it's a Tom Lehrer. I had a couple other Tom Lehrer, or I have a couple of other ones, but I didn't have this one. And this one's still in the shrink wrap. I mean, it's opened, but and then it just has this old sleeve where you can like order all the old Reprise records, the Kinks.
I like that. You don't see that very often.
Yeah. So
Adam, are you familiar with Tom Lehrer?
No, I'm not familiar.
Oh, yeah. Are you, Jeff? You said you don't like musical comedy. Oh, so he's like from the, I don't know, 50s or 60s or both, I guess. And he has all these like fun, he plays piano, and he does all these like kind of some of them are dark. Like he has a song called "Poisoning Pigeons in the Park," which I like. Oedipus Rex is another good one. He has a song. I think the melody was an existing song, but it's called "The Elements," and he just singing all the elements to the tune of whatever. I think it was a popular song of the day, but I think students probably use it now to actually learn the elements.
I'm gonna have to check that out. That sounds kind of interesting.
So I haven't listened to that particular one yet, but I've had a couple of Tom Lehrer records for a while, and since we're doing soundtracks today on this episode, I found this one. I haven't seen the show and don't really know the songs, but
I love that.
I've got Jesus Christ Superstar, which
who's on that?
I've heard of.
Who's on that?
No.
Look it up. Ian Gillan, the singer for Deep Purple. He's actually on that, and I believe Murray Head may be on that too. I could be wrong, but I think Murray Head, who had a big hit in the 60s with One Night in Bangkok, I think he may make an appearance on that. That is a great soundtrack, and you got all this for free, and you got all this in that same box.
There's 2 boxes of this kind of. I mean, some of it is like classical, and like there's a lot of Johnny Mathis and stuff like that.
Johnny Mathis. Now you're talking.
Yeah,
I'll take
this
you,
one's
Johnny
not
Mathis.
in such great. So I'll show Dustin. So I got this. I got Tom Lehrer.
Nice.
The other guys didn't know Tom Lehrer, and then I got Steve Martin and soundtracks. We're talking about soundtracks. I got Jesus Christ Superstar, which I haven't seen or listened to, but I've been aware of.
You're gonna like it.
Life.
Yeah, the movie's great. Speaking of good movie soundtracks, it's great.
Yeah, I gotta see it. So I'm gonna keep going through the box, So I guess next week I'll have a couple more I could talk about or whatever. But that's what I got so far.
It's become Anthony's vinyl now. He's got he's got his. And you guys don't need me anymore.
We didn't know how to tell you, but I didn't want you to find out.
That's all right. It's fine.
You've been replaced by 2 boxes of free vinyl.
Yeah, it's gonna be making so much money now that you're the head of the show. Big money. Big money. Very cool. Yeah, it's interesting how some people just give you vinyl. I have a cool vinyl. I'll have to show it next week, but. It's like sometimes out of nowhere people are moving and stuff, and a lot of times they just don't want to take their vinyl with them or whatever. It's a hassle. It's also a phase people go through because some people think because I see this happen a lot where people are like, okay, I'm gonna get into vinyl, and then they don't realize it's like, okay, then you got to buy a system. You got to buy the speakers, you got to buy the turntable, and then it's like records are so expensive, man.
And you have to have space.
You get to have space, and it's like, the amount of money. It's like, but it's
absolutely.
But it's whatever. It's better than having Beanie Babies, I guess, at this point. Imagine those people that still got them. That's like
with the tags
my mom still does.
Protected.
Yeah, they're really psychopaths.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, people made money off of them, though. There was a moment people were making good money.
Yeah, my mom had a huge collection. She actually has a big display case just filled with them.
Still,
that's so funny.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Did she have the tag protectors?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
Did she have the Princess Bear? That's the big one, right?
Yeah, she had the Princess Bear. It was the Princess Di Bear.
Princess Di. Oh,
you should snag that. That'll go for at least $80 on eBay.
Right.
$80, like 25 years later.
Right.
I think that's all they're worth. Well, that movie came out. You saw it, Anthony.
The documentary. It was good. It was really good.
It was good and disturbing at the same time. And it's like. Because it's kind of like, it reminded me of music too, where it's just like they kind of hypnotize you into liking something, and then you think that you like that thing. Kind of how I was with Twisted Sister as a child. But I feel like they were so in my face that I was like, "This is a great band."
I also want to rock.
Yeah. So it works. Very cool. Sorry, I was late, guys. President Biden is down the street. Everybody's favorite president. He's a Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel tonight. So he's doing important stuff. So they blocked off my street, so I couldn't get around.
He's going on Jimmy Kimmel to be like, somebody's got to do something about this gun control thing.
Well, he's doing a Type 5, so
Yeah.
Now he's taking comic jobs. Did you guys talk about anything or no? Nothing crazy.
No, we just talked a little bit of music. We just talked about Anthony
records. Yeah,
Anthony Vinyl. I like it. Very cool. All right, so let's get into it, I guess. So today we're going to talk about music-inspired movies, which I feel like most movies, it's like the soundtrack or the singing or whatever the genre of the type of musical type movie it is, really make the movie. There's so many like I feel Quentin Tarantino is who he is because of his selection of music. In his movies.
Him and Scorsese.
Yeah. Well, let's go one at a time. Let's start with Tarantino. I think Tarantino is. Jeff likes to just jump. He doesn't let me just, it's celebrate Tarantino. I would say Tarantino's a little better than Martin Scorsese. I think I think it's more because what Tarantino does is he brings music to light. Like a lot of people wouldn't listen to certain music until they've seen a Tarantino movie. He brings Dusty Springfield or Jungle Boogie. Who's that?
The Chakas. Wasn't that the Chakas?
That's not the Chakas. It's Celebrate. Who sings Celebrate?
Cool.
Cool in the Gang. Like Cool in the Gang. He brought him back with, a Jungle Boogie and stuff. So it's like, I think what he does is like when he places these songs in his movies, then those songs get popular, which happens a lot with a lot of movies. But I think with Tarantino, it's like you discover stuff you didn't even know existed. Like I didn't know I loved Al Green. This is amazing. Like because you just don't think to listen to it. And then you'll hear an Al Green song in a Tarantino movie and you're like, oh my God, I got to get me some Al Green.
Like Joel's career.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people.
The Neil Diamond cover.
Yeah. Neil Diamond, all that stuff. Oh, yeah. Neil Diamond became popular again.
Yeah. Girl, You'll Be a Woman soon. That was a great cover.
That's your theme song, Jeff. Yeah. I think we support your transitioning. We do. It looks a little rough these days, but you'll get there. All right. So we'll start with Jeff's movie because I thought Jeff's movie was interesting because I know he's ready to sandblast mine, but let me help him with Jeff's. So Jeff, go ahead. What did you pick for us this week?
Are we talking movie or are we talking movie soundtrack?
We're talking whatever you made us watch.
Well, I didn't make you watch anything. Okay. You made us watch
this something. Is a show. We all suggest we watch things. And you suggested a movie. You want me to name the movie? I know the movie.
Yeah, go ahead.
Not just another teen movie.
Well, yeah. Well, I didn't want you to watch the movie. I wanted you to listen to the soundtrack. And
we all watched the movies. That was part of it. Okay, Anthony. So what did you pick to this week? Anybody could say it wasn't. We've covered 1,000 soundtracks on here. I wanted the idea of watching the movie with the music. That was the homework this week. Was we watched the movie with the music. Like we concentrate on the music as we watch the movie. And I thought not just another teen movie. A horrible movie, but funny, meant to kind of mock all those other movies. And, I think, go ahead. Why did you like I guess, did you ever watch the movie, Jeff?
No.
Wait, did you not watch the movie ever?
I did not. I thought we were just talking about the soundtrack.
Oh my God. I actually saw the movie in theaters when it was out.
Did you? No,
I was a teen when it came out. This movie was made
Stop
for me.
bragging. Stop bragging.
Let's talk about the soundtrack.
I was 42. Whatever.
What did you guys think about the music in the movie?
Well, let's talk about the movie, dude. That's what this is about.
He never said.
Let me tell you about the movie.
I can't believe you didn't watch the movie.
I can't believe you've never seen the movie.
The soundtrack.
I specifically said several times I'm going to watch the movie. I said because last week we did a rerun, and I said great because I'll have time to watch the movies. You can check that text. So everybody watch the movie.
Talk about a different movie that I would like to talk about. But
so you're from Staten Island.
Staten Island has nothing to do with it. Now we lost Dustin.
Dustin, we lost your audio.
Is gone.
Which is good.
Welcome to Dustin's Arguments, where we argue. Dustin, we can't hear you. Something happened to your mic, Dustin.
We don't hear Dustin.
Is it out? Okay.
Yeah,
there you go. Okay. You got just like a loose cable.
Let me talk about the movie so you can explain. Because, of course, it's a good soundtrack, but that doesn't matter because the movie is ridiculous. And the movie is kind of like not just another scary teen movie kind of thing where they're mocking all the movies like Pretty in Pink and She's All That, and please help me. What other movies you think they?
Varsity Blues,
Breakfast Club,
American Pie.
Breakfast
Gotta
Club,
be American Pie.
Basically,
Yeah.
John
American
Hughes
Pie.
movies.
No, everything, not just John Hughes, everything. All kind of the teen movies that have kind of happened over the past 20 years or so. And so what was funny about it was they would have a scene. They have a guy that plays like the Ducky guy. And then they would, then we'd have like an OMD song, which is kind of reminiscent of Pretty in Pink. And so something like that. So each time they placed a song, it was like really good music with a really kind of not so good movie. And so, but they pulled it off because, it became funny because you would throw back to the movie. So it's like, but yeah, they did do a lot of John Hughes because I think John Hughes is another guy that like amplified a lot of bands that that we know today because of his movies. He really popped up a lot of new wave bands in the 80s. Fears and
Tears for Fears, the Smiths.
Did he do Pretty in Pink? He did, right?
Yeah, he did Pretty in Pink.
That was a band that there was a band in that movie that probably nobody knows as much as I do because I got the album when I was a teenager. But the Rave Ups were one of my favorite bands, and
weren't they in the movie?
Were they? Would they play like a scene?
Band on stage?
Maybe.
I think they were.
It had been a long time since I've seen that.
What are they called? The Rave Ups?
The Rave Ups. Really good band. Like kind of a folk, kind of like
a rockabilly type
or
of
the
sound,
Smithereens. Right? Yeah, that kind of band.
Smithereens.
Yeah, they were. Yeah. If that's the band in the movie, they're great.
Yeah, I think that's the band. But they had a single on it. But anyway, so it's like, that's but yeah, I thought the movie was funny, and ridiculous. And because when you make fun of other movies being taken themselves serious, it becomes funny. But the way they placed the music was pretty spot on, I think. But I don't know if I would call this really a musical movie, because I felt like, I don't know. I guess I didn't explain it enough. But I mean, Jesus Christ Superstar, like that's a musical movie, but this is, I thought that's what I was trying to get out there, but I felt like if it's the one that Adam chose is very music heavy. And the one, I think Anthony's the only one who did his homework properly, but, but Jeff, talk about the soundtrack. Go ahead. What do you got?
I think it's one of the best soundtracks of anything. I love it. It probably has one of my favorite top 3 covers of all time. I absolutely always, I listen to it all the time. I love Goldfinger's version of 99 Luftballons. It's all these great cover 80s songs. I think Smashing Pumpkins do an interesting version of Never Let Me Down, the great Depeche Mode song. Marilyn Manson rocks Tainted Love. Like, it's like these great versions, but they don't do it. They don't just cover it. They change the arrangement, which makes it sound really good. I think you mentioned OMD and Good Charlotte does If You Leave, which was, the end of
and here's the deal, Jeff. If you had seen the movie, Good Charlotte is the band at the prom.
There you go.
And
and also, I think was it a band I thought that Anthony had talked about, Phantom Planet, does a great Jackson Brown does Somebody's Baby from Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah. I don't know if I was talking about that. I like Phantom Planet.
Jeff, how did you get into this soundtrack without ever having anything to do with the movie? I don't understand.
Because I heard the single, which was the 99 Luftballons. And then as soon as I heard that and I saw what this soundtrack was, I immediately went out and got it on CD. Yeah. And then I listened to it, and I always play it. I mean, there is not a bad song on it. The Metro by System of a Down is really good.
Berlin, right? That was a Berlin song?
Yeah, it was a Berlin song.
It's a good song.
But the only way to take this movie serious is to not see it and just listen to the soundtrack. It's like, if you got to watch the movie now. You have to. Yeah. You have to. Because then you're going to be like, oh my God, this movie is ridiculous, but it has really good music.
Watch it and then tell us about it next week.
Yeah, I really want to hear you.
I got to tell you, I really focused on Dustin's movie.
I just finished watching it,
which is the exact same movie. It's close. That's the problem. It's a comedy. It's meant to make fun of the scene in the 80s. And so your movie that you picked was the exact same thing, but you never seen it. So it's hard for me to compare that with you.
I didn't remember when I saw. Would it come out in 2001?
Yep.
When I saw it in 2001, I didn't remember it being such a 80s parody. It
was a parody. It was a total parody.
Yeah.
It's making fun of the time and the era and the Sunset Strip and all that, So yeah, but let's. All right, we have anything else, Jeff, about your? That is a good soundtrack. I did enjoy the music all the way through, but the movies,
good soundtrack.
I got to listen to the soundtrack again. It was great. It was a very, very easy listen to. And since we took a couple of weeks off, I wound up re-listening to it another time. I like the version of Stabbing Westward, Bizarre Love Triangle. I like Stabbing Westward. I like Bizarre Love Triangle.
I remember Stabbing
I just thought it was such a great melding of the two. So I really, really enjoyed this soundtrack. So that's what I thought we were going for here.
Orgy did Blue Monday.
They did, man. They do a great version of Blue Monday. Yeah.
I think it's a little too many covers, maybe like just the originals. I think
that's the purpose of the album.
Yeah. Well, you would know because you didn't see the movie.
I don't think anything to do with the movie. I will watch the movie. I'll watch the movie.
They couldn't afford the music. That's why they did covers. They couldn't afford the originals, so that's why they did covers.
Is that true?
Yes. I'm just saying that, but it's probably true.
Well, it is a different licensing fee.
It is different.
But a lot of those bands were bigger at that time than the bands from the 80s were currently, So, but probably that had something to do with it. It's like the best of both worlds.
Bigger to the youth, but not necessarily
to the youth.
People who would see that movie. Yeah.
Yes,
but they're not bigger than New Order. I mean, the originals of those songs.
You mean Orgy is not today bigger than?
No, Stabbing Westward isn't either.
Yeah, I mean, but you might have got the other audience if you'd used the originals. Is what I'm saying. Because I enjoyed it because I saw all those movies, and so it even if I'm older or whatever, I still, if anything, I saw those movies when they came out. So it's like I enjoyed the music and the movie that they were making fun of. Can't believe you didn't see the movie. It's so fun. You're like making it like this is a serious soundtrack. Wait till you see the movie, dude. It makes it.
I'll see the movie.
Makes American Pie look like The Godfather.
Right.
Jeff, did you watch any? Did you watch any of the movies?
Yeah, I did watch one of them.
What?
You didn't watch Anthony's?
What was Anthony's movie?
Oh my God!
What do you mean? What was Anthony's movies? Do you watch any of the text?
What was Anthony's movie?
Any of the text?
I picked.
We'll go you, D. Anthony. We'll go you next. Go ahead.
Tenacious D in the Pick of Destiny was the movie that I picked. It was Tenacious D made a movie. Was around 2006, something like that. It came out. And it was sort of the movie is. It's weird. It didn't do well, and it probably didn't do that well because they had Tenacious D had the HBO show, and then the movie is sort of a retelling of the origin story that fans already kind of saw, but they do it like it's a reimagining and a retelling. So it's kind of. I love the movie, but I can see why it didn't maybe do so well because I don't know who you market it to. Do you market to the old fans or people who don't know what Tenacious D is? They kind of did something in between. But the movie I think is great. It's very funny. Dave Grohl is in it. He plays Satan, and he's also on the soundtrack. He plays drums on, I believe, all of it, and he sings the songs that Satan sings. With the band, and it's a lot of fun. I loved it. I listen. Sometimes I just listen to the soundtrack by itself. I think the soundtrack works as it's the second Tenacious D album.
Can you give?
I think it works on its own.
The listeners just a little background on who Tenacious D is. Like what? How's it?
Tenacious D? Yeah, Jack Black and Kyle Gass are Tenacious D, and I mean you probably know. School of Rock, Jack Black, School of Rock, King Kong,
like that's
Nacho Libre. Yeah. So what?
We know Jack Black. I just meant like the
County.
origin of them coming together and stuff. Like it just, I guess I don't know where he came from.
He was on Mr. Show. Oh, Kyle Gass.
Right.
I don't
That's
really
right.
know.
That's
I don't know
right.
where Kyle. I don't know where they met. Actually, I don't know where Kyle came from.
Well, Jack Black also was on Mr. Show a little bit.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, Jack Black was on
that's
Mr.
probably where they
Show.
met.
But I don't think Kyle Gass was on it. I don't know how. So, but anyway, Liam Lynch, he directed the movie. Maybe people. I'm a big fan of Liam Lynch from. He had a show on MTV called Syphil and Ollie, sock puppet show that I loved. I don't really know what he directed. A Sarah Silverman special. I think Jesus is Magic. I think is the one he directed.
Oh, it's so good. That was such a good show.
Yeah. So, and then he directed this movie. And he puts out albums, so he's a musical comedian and stuff like that. So, Liam Lynch, brilliant. Everybody who worked on this movie. Dio is in the movie.
That's what I'm going to say.
Dio has a great scene in the movie.
That's what I was going to say.
Meatloaf plays Jack Black's dad, which is perfect casting.
So good.
Like Jack Black as a little kid. They have a little kid playing a young Jack Black, and then Meatloaf is his dad, and he sings on the first the opening song. So yeah, I don't know. So that's I've loved this movie for decades at this point. What do you guys?
I like Tenacious D a lot. I think I discovered them in college a little bit, and it was like. Yeah, man. It's like, well, Anthony, it's very hard to make comedy songs funny and good at the same time. Yes. It's a very tricky thing. There's very few people that have pulled it off. Fly the Concords, certain people, it's just something it's not easy to do. But when you listen to Tenacious D, I mean, after a while, you don't even think that they're kind of a comedy duo. You just think you're listening to some sort of shredded metal band, and you're just like, because Kyle can really rip.
He's great.
And Jack can sing.
And Jack Black, oh God. And Jack Black is
and Dave Grohl on the drums.
Jesus, you're the worst, dude. So Jack Black, I mean, he has that metal voice. He can get up there with like a Dio and stuff, and it's just like Anyway, Jeff, did you see the movie?
I did see it. I saw it a while ago.
Okay.
Yeah,
wow.
I saw it.
Thank
yeah.
God.
And I remember, the scene that did stand out to me is
that scene. I remember that scene. Yeah.
Yeah. But I do. Oh man, come on, you're the worst. I do like. I don't care.
I love it.
But I do like Jack Black. I think he's for a guy who does parodies, he has a really good voice.
They're not parodies.
They're not parodies.
They're original songs that are funny.
Yeah. Right. Well, he did do. Did you ever see the thing he did with Fallon where they kind of dress up like Extreme and they do more than words?
I didn't see it, but it sounds
great. That's a Fallon sketch. I don't think that's,
No,
is that in the movie? Is that in the director's cut?
How good he sings it,
He's a great singer. Yeah. It's because it's comedy. I think people don't take him as seriously as they should. He's a great songwriter. He's a great singer and a great actor. And that's why Tenacious D works as a movie and as a soundtrack.
Well, let's talk about that for a second. I feel like there's a lot of people sometimes that are actors first, or they blow up as an actor or something. And then they try to kind of launch into a singing career, and they might have a hit here and there. Like Jamie Foxx, incredible singer, musician. Eddie Murphy had a great voice. There's certain people that, it's like, like I remember Don Johnson released like a song, like when in the height of Miami Vice. And, a lot of people do that.
Heartache.
Heartbeat.
Yeah. Heartbeat. That's right. That's it. Right. Yeah. Right.
Rodney Dangerfield. He tried his hand at the rap game.
So there is some tragedy that happens sometimes with that. But it's like, I think it's hard sometimes for people to, see people. And there's a lot of people like John Travolta in the height of his career had an album.
Did he?
Terry Bradshaw had an album. Oh my God. Terry Bradshaw had an album. Go ahead, Jeff.
Oh my God.
Go ahead.
I never heard Terry Bradshaw's album.
Yeah.
Is it country album?
It's rap.
No, it's not. It cannot possibly.
You know who else had a rap album? Macho Man Randy Savage.
He did.
You ever hear it?
No, I want to.
God awful. He's got one song about Hulk Hogan. It's just like be a man, Hulk. Okay. Anyway. Yeah. What do you think about Tenacious D?
Adam, save us, please.
All right, so I could talk about the the soundtrack because I cannot find the movie. So
you couldn't find it anywhere?
Yes. Thanks, Anthony.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I just have already seen it. I didn't know where.
I
You
thought it was
can't
gonna
rent
be
it
on-
on Amazon?
I thought it was going to be on HBO Max, but just the show was on there.
It should be because the TV show should be on there,
Yeah.
right?
I was surprised. They just had the what was it? I think they only had 3 episodes of the series.
Oh, you can't even watch the whole show on HBO?
No.
Damn.
I want you to buy everything.
Yeah.
But I mean, I listened. I mean, it's short. It's only about 38 minutes. The soundtrack. I listened to it a few times today, and it definitely piqued my interest to see the film. I know. I don't know why I had a bunch of opportunities to see Tenacious D live. I never got a chance to see them. I always liked Flight of the Conchords, but I mean, I enjoyed this album. I like
They're touring this year.
Oh, they are?
I just saw online they posted a video. They're doing a tour in 2022.
Let's go check it out. I saw The Government Totally Sucks is a great song. Master Exploder, The Metal, Kong.
The Metal was on one of those Guitar Hero games. I mean, at the time, that was 2006 or 7. Anyway.
Yep.
You were saying.
This show's hilarious.
Turned into Jeff for a second.
I don't know.
It's contagious. It's contagious.
I'm letting you guys run with this. This is
Thank God.
amazing.
Thank God. I'm letting them run too. Yeah, I thought the movie was great. The soundtrack's great. I do love the devil scenes, and I mean, ever since I was a kid, and just the idea of the devil went down to Georgia and Crossroads, and just the devil being a badass musician has always been amazingly funny to me, and kind of this intriguing character, where it's just like it's like the devil. He takes our soul, and he can play 90 instruments.
Yeah,
just funny
shredding on the guitar.
that he would be this evil person, but at the same time, a very gifted musician. I think it's very funny. Very cool. Adam, what movie did you pick for us?
All right, so I was between 2 movies. One of them that was closer to the music movie theme that we were talking about, but I picked the second one because of I felt it was a pretty good counter movie to the one that you picked, Dustin. So this was 2000's Almost Famous. It's a movie about the love of rock and roll. This is I think this is Cameron Crowe's best film. One of my favorites. I always throw this on as a real feel-good movie. I'd actually put this in probably my top 10 favorite films. And I think it just best exemplifies what it is to love rock and roll. You get this kind of... it's a semi-autobiographical tale of Cameron Crowe's when he was a young reporter for Rolling Stone and some other publications. And it's a composite of a bunch of different bands. I think they said it's inspired by Zeppelin, inspired by The Who, inspired by I think the Allman Brothers was another band. It tells the story through that lens, and it's a it's a great ode to not just 70s rock, but rock and roll in general. And unfortunately, like the soundtrack, I don't know, did you guys listen to it on Spotify or Apple Music or?
Did not, just watch the movie.
All right, because the soundtrack was I listened to it on Apple Music, and most of the stuff was grayed out for the soundtrack.
Okay.
But this film has a Zeppelin track in it. That's the way, and I think this was one of the only films that Zeppelin allowed a song of theirs to be used.
Yes.
And
the other one, a School of Rock.
Oh, really?
Or do they use the real one? I know that Jack Black is singing Immigrant Song, but I don't remember now if they actually used the Led Zeppelin recording. But
and you know what the other one is? A Cadillac car commercial.
Right. That was
quite a jump there.
But I mean, it's there's of course the iconic scene in Almost Famous is when Stillwater is on the verge of breaking up. Russell goes off to the party, takes acid, and does the "I'm a Golden God" from the top of the roof, and then afterwards they get him back on the tour bus, and there's all this friction, and everybody Elton John's Tiny Dancer comes on, everybody starts singing it, and I think that's one of the I'd put it up there and probably maybe the top 10 most iconic uses of music in a film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I agree. So, the movie came out when I was in high school, and that scene was a big reason why I got into the 70s Elton John stuff, because Elton John was not, he did the Lion King and all this stuff that 80s, as a kid growing up, 90s. You're like, oh, Elton John sucks. And then I heard this and I was like, oh man, he used to be good. Stuff kicks ass. So I got into, I had a pretty heavy Elton John phase in high school because of that scene in that movie. So that's why I said, I want to put the whole story there. Did you
see Rocket Man?
No.
Yeah, that's a very good musical movie. I feel like Elton John is, he gets kind of washed out from the 80s on, but the 70s stuff is really good. Yeah, I love this movie a lot. I recently was on a tour bus and I played Tiny Dancer and I just cried the whole time. I was like, that's just my life. It was just something so great about it. I was just playing it over and over. Everybody's like, are you crying? I was like, yeah, it's just a thing I'm having right now. Just let me have this moment.
Was it just headphones? No one else could hear it?
No, nobody could hear it. It was just me. It was just me just crying. They're like, are you okay? I was like, yeah, I'm fine, dude. I'm just listening to Tiny Dancer. I'm on a fucking tour bus. I'm in a really good place right now. This is great.
Oh, that's so funny.
But yeah, that movie is the exploration of music and how because I think a lot of us in our youth, we found music to help us figure out life and how the world works and sex and girls and life and parents and everything kind of came together through rock and roll, a lot of us. And so I feel that movie encompasses that. And it also it's him kind of as a young kid and he's trying to get into the music business and writing for Rolling Stone and all that stuff. And so it's just really great. And then just all the characters in it are great. And as far as Penny, was it Penny Lover? Was that Penny Lane?
Penny Lane. Yeah.
Which is Goldie Hawn's daughter. Yeah, it was great. Yep. And yeah, I think the whole thing is great. And it shows kind of this, how it's such a beautiful art form, but at the same time, it's just waiting to explode any second at any moment. And it's that's the thing with art. It's even when it's great, it's going to go out. It's going to go off the rails at some point. And, but yeah, the music is fantastic. There's little cameos that are fun. Like Mark Maron's in it for a second. And he plays the manager that's yelling at him for, at the one of the gigs, he's that they have to drive off from or something. He's just yelling in the park. And so it's it is little moments like that are great. But the music is fantastic, and it's just and it covers that thing where it's it was this fictional band, I guess, that could have been Foghat. It could have been just bands of that time. But yeah, I love it. I could watch that movie over and over. It's definitely a really good watch. Jeff, I feel like you like this movie a lot.
I loved it. A lot of it I liked. I thought it was very accurate, especially the backstage stuff. I had been, I'd worked 19 years on the road doing shows, touring with bands, and a lot of the backstage stuff was pretty accurate. Just something as simple as when they're online for food and wearing the laminates. I liked. Something interesting about Almost Famous, when you guys come to New York, Almost Famous is opening as a Broadway play here. So that may be interesting to check out. I thought it also had a really interesting cast. I thought Philip Seymour Hoffman as Cameron Crowe's mentor was excellent, kind of jaded, but really kind of knew the business and gave good advice. There was use of real bands, Sabbath is on stage when Stillwater just finishes their set. Kate Hudson was great. The fictional name of the band is Stillwater. Mm-hmm. And I loved I love Billy Crudup in it. He's so likable, and you want him to finally give that interview, which I thought was great. Jason Lee as the narcissistic lead singer was really good. How about me, man? You want to talk to me? I'm only the lead singer of the band. I like that, and I think it's great. Even thinking of like a song like Fever Dog is like a real good song. So I love this movie. It's one of those movies. It comes on and like it hooks you in. No matter where you catch it in the movie, I will sit and I'll continue watching.
Yeah, it's definitely captures what rock and roll truly is.
And Fever Dog was actually written by Nancy Wilson.
Oh wow.
Well, that's his girlfriend at the time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's amazing. Very cool. All right, so
which brings us to this gem.
First of all, let me just give me 40 seconds. Cool, guys. Thanks. All right. Before you just jump in. All right. So I think Leah took me to a Broadway play, and it was a Broadway musical. I believe it was around 2012 or something. And it was kind of one of those things where I'd heard about it. A lot of people were talking about it. And the Broadway musical was Rock of Ages. And it was, on Broadway for a long time, did really well. I believe it was Chris D'Arenzo, I believe, was the musical director and stuff of that. And it was so cool to be in a Broadway musical and it not be songs that are like, oh, I love you, like these weird, cheesy songs. It was Whitesnake and it was Bon Jovi and it was, it was just so much fun. And they gave us fake lighters. Every audience member had a fake lighter. So you push the button and it looks like a flame. And so it was like, there were moments where, the musical's going off and we're like, and it's basically what it is. The musical it's taking the lyrics from certain songs like Journey and Bon Jovi and different songs. And they basically like melded all these song lyrics into this story about these two characters and just a small town girl and all that stuff. And they kind of made a story out of it and made this, and it's a parody of the ridiculousness of kind of that time period. I mean, if you look at pictures of me and Jeff and our hair and stuff, like it was just a weird, hilarious time. And I felt like the movie came out and, a lot of people hated on the movie. And to me, it's like I like bad things. And that's why I like you guys. I mean, I'm not.
That explains our friendship.
I don't have
Dustin.
a high bar. And I think of myself the same way as I think of you guys. So I don't think of myself that high either. But I don't try to go in and be like, okay, this is a masterpiece. I look at something and think, how does it make me feel? Am I having a good time? Is it a good time? Am I enjoying it? And I am. And the movie was ridiculous. The movie was not a good movie at all. It was not something that I would be like, this is the greatest thing. If I was going to pick a movie like to be serious, I would probably pick Rocket Man or something, or, Woodstock or something fancy. I can go that direction. We all know that. But this is a good time. And I felt like Rock of Ages was a fun time. I love Tom Cruise as kind of this Axl Rose character, that took himself way too serious. The fact that he had a freaking monkey as a side pet. And like Alec Baldwin being all fat singing and stuff, like Russell was Brand is like Brand. This kind of weird energy sexual thing they got going. It was so funny to me and ridiculous, but I really enjoyed it. I just, for some reason, I like the movie. I think it's and I love certain parts of this movie. Like if you try to take this movie serious, just think about how they make fun of the boy bands. And so the fact that he's like put the hat on and he's like like all that stuff is so funny to me. And it's like, to me, that's how I look at that movie. It's like it's a good time. I know Jeff's going to go off, and I could go off too. But it's like, to me, I enjoyed the experience that was Rock of Ages, and I think and there's some fun songs in it. Some 80s songs, and I do like how they do the kind of Broadway musical version of kind of metal rock songs, and how, because that's not easy to do. And they take because that's what was so cool. And when I saw, and I think the Broadway musical was probably much better than the movie, but the Broadway musical was just to see Here I Go Again and a chorus and all, with a orchestra and things, all this stuff happening to make that a bigger song for a Broadway experience was fantastic. But the movie I thought was funny. I thought it was good. I thought it was completely ridiculous, which is how I think of glam metal, where it's fun, it's pretty good, but it's a good time in the end. You watch Poison and you go, okay, this is fun, but do you say, is it really that great? No. Nobody's ever said Poison's great. They just say it's a good time.
Even Poison.
Even have a song about that, right?
Ain't nothing but a good time. And that's in the movie. And that's what I'm saying. They're just making fun of themselves. So that's how I feel about this movie. It's dear to me because I feel like it's just a fun time. And my girl took me to the Broadway on my birthday. So I enjoy what it is. And I was a big metal kid when I was in junior high, so I enjoyed it. But Anthony, what did you think of the experience of Rock of Ages?
I thought that it was, like you said, it was very fun. I kind of wish that it was 20 to 30 minutes shorter, because towards the end I was like, the fun is kind of starting to wear off. It's because it's
How
not
long
good.
was it? It couldn't have been that long, was it?
It was 2 hours and 19 minutes.
Was it that long? Oh, I had no idea.
Wow.
2 hours and 19 minutes.
I was having such a good time. I don't know.
Yeah. Because I just remember, like, at one point I was like, how fucking long is this going to be? Like, I was like, oh, this is fun. It's goofy. It's like, it's bad. And the songs are fun. I actually like probably half of the songs, and then the other ones I recognize, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's like Bon Jovi. I don't love, but you know all the songs, and the songs are fun. And Tom Cruise is ridiculous. Alec Baldwin was definitely miscast. I don't know how that happened, but it's still fun because he shouldn't be in that movie at all.
Yeah, I mean, the Broadway musical actor was definitely a whole lot better than Alec Baldwin, the guy. But that's
Alec
what
Baldwin's
happens.
a good actor usually. Yeah. I mean, up until the last thing he did. But
what, the shooting? What
but
I'm sure his acting was great. Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was fun. It was a little long, but I thought it was fun. It was goofy, and the songs are great. I wish there was less of the acting.
I got you.
To get to the next song, because that's my favorite part.
Well, I think the downfall of the movie was a Pat Benatar song was showcased. Hit me with your best shot, I think, was in there. I'm kidding. Adam, how do you feel about the movie? As a whole?
I think it had I didn't hate it as much as I thought I was gonna hate it, but I hate the first 20 minutes. I thought were just horrendous. The whole Paradise City, Sister Christian on the bus.
I love that scene.
Stop.
I loved it.
There's only one movie that used Sister Christian well. That was Boogie Nights.
That's true.
But
they were singing it though. They were singing it as a chorus.
I hate that. I mean, that whole group singing. I mean, I liked Almost Famous, the Tiny Dancer on the bus made sense.
Different. That's different.
This was like,
it's like Broadway,
right?
Yeah.
Do you hate Broadway?
No, I like Broadway. I think I'd actually like the musical version of this, but I think they were just trying to, make it too much like Broadway, and I don't know. It just didn't work. I think it was because I didn't really like the leads. I didn't like I don't even know who their names were.
Yeah, I didn't like the leads either.
Yeah,
Was it
Julianne Ho and Diego Bonete?
Right. I think Tom Cruise was really the only highlight of the film is Stacey Jacks. But
Mary J. Blige was great. I thought she was really
Mary J. Blige was great in it.
But and there was that awful we built this city, we're not going to take it anymore
mashup.
Bryan Cranston was in it as well.
He was the mayor or something, right?
Some heavy hitters in this, man.
Yeah,
I think he was he in the Hit Me With Your Best Shot?
Yes, he was.
Song, Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Yeah. All right, folks. Well, that's all we got today, and thanks for listening.
I like when the dude is playing the Journey song on the acoustic guitar for the
the
woman, and then he he's singing it, and then he goes and it goes on and on and on. And I kept imagining, like, if I had seen that in theaters, like, there's probably one guy in the back that would have laughed too loud at that. Like,
that was me. That was me. I was that guy. I was laughing a little too loud at all that.
A little too loud at that joke.
All right, folks. So if you could follow us on our YouTube.
Oh, it really is the end. Okay.
All right, Jeff. What do you got?
Okay. Oh boy, God damn it! This movie.
I thought this was a good episode.
Anthony, stop, please. With this movie, let me tell you something. I'd rather get hit by a car again than
Oh my God! Well, you didn't watch the movies.
I watched it. Oh my God!
This one you watched?
Yeah. I watched this one. I don't think there's a movie I hate more than them. This is as
I picked it.
This and Spaceballs are probably up there as my two worst movies that I hate.
Don't put this with Mel Brooks, bro.
No. Yeah, Adam's right. The opening scene when they're on the bus and the bus go motoring, and then they all start.
Love that. I love that.
I hate that.
So well put together.
No, it's not well put together.
Is amazing.
It's and they're all singing. They all chime in.
I love it.
Yeah, and then just to also go on with Adam's scene. Hit me with your best shot. We're not going to take it. Mashup with Will Forte running back and forth.
Genius.
Fucking off the charts. I mean, I watched this movie and the hair on my arm stood up. It was so douche, chill, embarrassing, and cringe. Oh my God. It was so. And then, like, the worst part is you have Sebastian Bach, Kevin Cronin from REO, Debbie Gibson. You have real rock stars in that scene, and they just fucking blew it with the amount of talent. It was so bad. It was so bad. And then a scene that I don't know if you guys didn't even talk about it yet. Oh, this is really bad. When Alec Baldwin and not Dustin Chafin, Russell Brand are singing "I Can't Fight This Feeling Anymore," and they're singing into a comb, and then they realize they're in love, and they're staring at each other, and then the worst fucking line of any movie in history comes out, where like a guy who works at the Bourbon Club, which is supposed to be the whiskey, and he comes down and goes, "Hey, we have a beer delivery or something upstairs," and Alec Baldwin goes, "I'm busy," and he goes, "With what?" And he goes, "Falling in love."
I mean, I get a tear just thinking about it.
I get a rope and want to hang myself.
You're homophobic, Jeff. You're homophobic.
Yeah,
so
I'm not homophobic.
See why yes, you are. I would see why you. How did you feel about the Broadway show? Did you see the Broadway show?
I did see. I saw it twice.
Twice?
Okay. I
What? Wow.
I liked it for the bands because they get royalties off it. Especially, I knew AJ
you
from.
Bought tickets to the show twice to give royalties
to
the bands.
Bullshit. That is such bullshit, Jeff. No. You had to enjoy it a little bit. You royalties, they need more royalties.
Twisted Sister.
I went one with my son, and then my niece wanted to see it because that's the kind of guy I am. I'll sacrifice. I'll sit through a bunch of horse shit.
You
enjoyed the Broadway musical. I know you did. I guarantee you did.
Yeah. The "Hit Me With Your Best Shot" was.
It's a horrible song. Why would they put it in any movie?
It is not Pat's best song. Okay.
I love that song. Really, you guys don't like that?
But the scene itself, and every time they would say "Hit me with your best shot," she hits Bryan Cranston in the butt with a paddle. Oh, tickle my ribs! It's so funny. No, man, it's terrible. This is one of how this got greenlit. It had one of the worst opening.
It got greenlit because the Broadway musical was successful. That's why we did the movie.
That's why it got greenlit. But how could they mess up biggest so bad? Broadway show of all time.
Yeah, it's a huge Broadway show, so that's why it got greenlit. You can't be. Why did it get greenlit?
But when they looked at the dailies of this, how could they say, "Let's put this on film"? It was Tom Cruise's worst opening weekend.
Well, of his whole career.
Yes.
Okay, wow. I don't know if I mean, he's probably made worse movies than this. I don't know if you've seen Vanilla Sky, but I'd rather watch this than Vanilla Sky again.
Until they wasted Paul Giamatti.
He was great in it. He had a moment. He had some funny moments in it. But I think you take this movie a little too serious.
I wish they had? I said this when I was watching it. Danny DeVito instead of Paul Giamatti.
I mean, okay, I can do that with 1,000 movies, but you know what I mean? I think you guys took it a little too serious, well, especially Jeff, took it a little too serious. I think you guys, most of you got the idea of what it was.
I thought it was fun.
It was
Dustin,
long. Did you see it in a movie theater?
I did, opening weekend, and I loved it.
You saw this opening weekend?
Yeah, because I love the musical. I love the Broadway musical, so I saw it in the theater. I was enjoying the experience.
I felt like a pedophile walking out of this movie. That's how ashamed I was that I actually went to this movie.
I feel that's happened a few times with you before. Don't blame Rock of Ages. Don't blame Rock of Ages.
I blame Rock of Ages. This was.
I paid $4 to watch this movie today.
Oh, you bought it? Oh, wow.
I rented it. I don't know if it's
for you. I appreciate you doing that, Anthony. I apologize for your $4. I'll give you $4 back. I wanted you to see it.
I'm not asking for the $4.
Anthony, take him up on that.
Comedy's tough. I'll give you $4. Yeah, it was, it was nothing but a good time. That's what it was.
It was fun.
So, I think this was fun. I'm glad you guys, watched the movies, except for Jeff, who didn't watch any of the movies.
He didn't watch his own.
Yeah, he didn't watch his own movie.
The only one he didn't see.
Funniest thing ever.
I didn't know we were supposed to watch the movie. I thought we were recommending soundtracks, and we were going to talk about one movie. I
need to be more clear. Everybody else gets it, but Jeff doesn't always get it. So I'll be more clear next time.
I thought this was a fun way to do it, though. Like to watch movies because of the soundtracks and then talk about it.
Because we always listen to the music, and so watching the movie, you get another perspective of it.
We should do that more. Purple Rain or something like that.
We did Purple Rain before you got here, buddy.
Oh, okay.
We did. We'll get you back. We'll do. Prince's birthday was yesterday, and so he's dearly missed. So happy birthday in the purple heavens, Mr. Prince. All right, everybody. Thanks for this was great. You guys are awesome as always, and. Please check out our YouTube page. We're getting a little momentum. We could use some more, so please give us all the likes and love that you can. And Anthony, why don't you play us a little Rock of Ages inspired exit, if you will?
Oh damn. Okay. I don't think I know how to play any of those.
Hit Me With Your Best Shot.
Oh yeah, I'm in the wrong tuning.
We'll edit that.
How does it go? I don't know how.
Your best shot. All right, folks. There it is.
Yes. Something like that, right?
Hit me with your best shot. Sing it, Jeff. You know every word.
Hit me with your best shot.
Fire away.
There you go.
I don't know. It's something like that. Anyway.
We love you. Thank you for listening and watching. Bye.
Good night, everybody.